Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Just Annoyed. I am Jackson, and once again, 3 weeks in a row, we're on a streak. I am joined by Ken and Paul. Paul, we'll start with you, Ken. Why don't you introduce yourself, where you come from, that sort of thing.
I'm Ken. I come from my mom and dad, and my life is kind of crazy. No, Pinky's Out Podcast. Find us where you find podcasts.
Smart ass. And Paul?
Hey, you can find me on Instagram at Paul's Problems CBSI, where I post stuff and things.
Yeah, you've had a few good ones lately, actually. I've been really impressed with your choice of your meme material. I think it's been pretty solid.
You are turning into quite the meme master, I must say. So
I'm a good thief.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and start the show. So before we hop into the stand, I do want to update everyone on the enduring love situation. So both Paul and Ken, they replied to Matthew, and thank you, Matthew, for continuing the dialogue. First of all, if you're listening, but yeah, Paul, really broke it down for Matthew. He was very friendly. Matthew, I believe, is from another country, so I'm not sure if
I'm hoping so.
Yeah, so I'm not sure if the language written is coming through to him because Ken, as Ken will do, wrote something along the lines of like, I'd rather gouge my eyes out and chop my balls off than ever.
Now, to be fair, it was I'd rather be waterboarded at Gitmo.
Okay. Yep. Right. So yes. Thank you for being specific. Yeah. So Ken, jokingly, I think might have gotten under Matthew's skin a little bit. But yes, the dialogue did continue. Paul did break down the movie for Matthew. I haven't seen a response since your last, right, Paul? Has he responded at all, or?
He wasn't hitting reply all, and I think he did reply to me. I haven't replied to him yet, but
you make sure and let us know where this goes.
Yeah, well, I'll find the email tomorrow or when I get a chance. I got to email him back, but I think he had a suggestion for me. Maybe I'm not sure. I think I'll let you guys know.
He didn't like my comparison of what he suggested.
I don't know, but anyway, I did break it down. I found the opening scene on YouTube, so I rewatched it because his question confused but intrigued me because I didn't know. I don't know, maybe I missed something,
but you didn't.
You didn't. No, I answered that too, but he didn't like my answer. So,
well, that you were mean, Ken. You're very mean.
I was not.
You're just you're a very mean guy.
Long story short, very sarcastic guy, and obviously, him being a foreign person doesn't get sarcasm very well. So,
if he's not foreign, he's going to be even more offended.
Yes, I hope he's not foreign. It's going to be great if he's not.
Anyway, the long and short of it is the only character who was never truly shown where they came from was Jed, the stalker. Right. And the only explanation was, I was just out looking for my dog. So who knows? I don't know. Maybe there's a whole backstory. He was stalking the character the whole time.
Yeah, maybe there's some poor lost dog running around that sheep field that everybody just freaking abandoned because the kid fell into the hot air basket. And
next time I watch it, when they go to the apartment, I'll look for pictures of him and a dog.
You're planning on watching it? How often do you watch it, Paul? Every few years? Is this one of your?
You sit down and have a good cry and watch this, like box of dark chocolate and some red wine and some tissues. And
when I go to Ken's house, I'm going to plant it on a bookshelf somewhere.
There you go. Perfect. Now I
am armed.
I do also want to touch on because I did not first episode I've missed, by the way, of the Downright Annoyed with Movies show. Yeah. First one I've ever missed. I do have to touch on the French Doors quickly. Anyone who's listening to this who does not pay attention to our other show, if the French Doors was selected by Paul, it's a short film out of New Zealand, horror. And I'm Paul, I didn't get a chance to listen to the whole episode. Do you have any other reason for having picked this outside of I watched it 20 years ago, and it was something I remembered.
Yeah, pretty much. I just wanted to see what you guys thought, given your film history, especially, just because it's basically someone's first attempt at a movie.
Yeah. I like it's hard to be like upset about it or get mad at the movie for not being good because of what it is, but at the same time I was just very perplexed that it was chosen by you, I must say. I feel like I need to rewatch it and listen to what's on the radio, what he's actually listening to the whole time, because I feel like there's some deeper meaning I'm missing, or maybe there's not. I don't know, but yeah, I mean, if you guys want to know what that was about and basically get an entire breakdown of everything that happens in that, you can listen to our episode, or you can just go watch it. But I think the idea is kind of neat. Like at first you're like intrigued, like, oh, this is kind of cool, kind of a crazy idea. But yeah, I don't know. I was confused at the end. I was very confused, but to each their own, Paul. I mean, Ken, did you like the French Doors better or worse than our favorite movie, Enduring Love?
Probably better, I'd have to say.
They're
definitely shorter.
Yes, it's true. Yeah, I think just watch our review. I kind of expand upon it a little bit.
It had potential as a movie, really. I mean, I don't know. I think it kind of fell flat, but for a first attempt, it wasn't terrible. I mean,
the concept's kind of neat. Like he installs these doors basically, and the next day when he wakes up to go make his morning coffee and cook his bacon or whatever, he realizes that looking out the doors that he installed, it's pitch black, and looking out the kitchen window, it's bright outside. So like right away, you're like, okay, this could be parlayed into like a really neat idea. I feel like it was trying to set up a jump scare, but the jump scare didn't make me jump. I think that's part of the problem. But yeah, I mean, neat little something that I never would have seen if it wasn't for Paul. So Paul is understanding the spirit of that show, I would say.
I think it might be my last out of the blue weird movie, but we'll see.
You got to have more, don't you?
I have a feeling that's far from the truth. So
I'm going to go back to the library and just
go through the dumpster.
Just go look, Google off the cuff, like weird movies, and look through a list, and any one that you've seen that you forgot you've seen, you could go with that. But we're not, go ahead.
200 worst movies ever made.
Yes. Right. Yeah. But we're not here to talk about that, folks. We are here to talk about the big episode 5. I believe it is Fear and Loathing in New Vegas is the title.
Vegas. Yep.
And it is our first look at Randall Flagg's Other Civilization in Las Vegas. And I have a feeling I'm about to get ganged up on this episode, but that's fine. I will pass it off to Ken first to give his thoughts on the latest episode.
Boy, oh boy, I was happy about this episode. I was hoping they would turn it around for me, and I think this is a good turn and going uphill, going to the right direction on this. But sorry, Paul just ducked out.
Forget Paul. Paul. We don't.
I loved this. I like Skarsgård, or what's his name?
Alexander Skarsgård. It's SARS or Scars. It's one of them.
Of course, he was only at the end of the episode, but I loved him. The whole Vegas thing was great. Is it Dana with a Y? Holy cow! He cleans up nice, huh, Paul?
The moon was full in Vegas.
Oh, jeez. And of course, Tom Collins too, though, man. You gotta love Tom Collins.
Oh, yeah.
I am 42 years old.
Go ahead, Paul. You can go next.
I thought it was good. It expanded on the universe. It had some surprises that you didn't, some stuff that you didn't think you were going to see. It gives a good peek into basically what he's using to lure people with is just the anything goes party lifestyle of
empty promises. Whatever you want is what is good. It's never enough, and there's nothing bad with wanting more.
Yeah, except for that's not the story in the stand. It's fucking wrong. So it's an abomination to the story because Randall Flagg had a strict no drug policy, and this is supposed to be another functioning society. This isn't supposed to be fucking doomsday from 2008 with all these hooligans running around, a bunch of idiots doing drugs and partying. How did they get the power back on? How do they possibly run functional? But they're like, they look like a bunch of morons. They're all just party animal douchebags.
Those aren't the people that are doing the work. The people that are doing the work are the slaves. So they're the ones that they capture.
Okay,
they're putting to work.
Okay, fine. So basically, these people showed up. They were lured by Randall Flagg to Las Vegas, and they just got enslaved, and they just accepted it. I'm not buying this. I think it's stupid.
Off those people that he lured to Vegas through the dreams.
Yeah, but there's nothing interesting happening in Vegas. It's a bunch of people partying. As far as what we see, they've turned Lloyd into just a bumbling moron who's like doing blow, and Randall Flagg's name gets brought up and he's just terrified.
Yeah.
Like Randall Flagg like saved Lloyd. He's got like a reverence for Randall Flagg. That's supposed to be what it is, but instead it was just and it looked cheap too. I'm sorry. It all looked like sets to me. It didn't look.
It was supposed to look like cheap old Vegas, though. I really did.
But it's not old Vegas. They're like showing the strip and they're showing whatever, and it just looks
to the original Sin City, where Vegas right now is more of like a family show. Like you go to Vegas now, there's freaking kids everywhere.
You're trying to excuse this, but this is a mistake. It would have been way more interesting to do we are a straight-laced society, like Randall Flagg, don't get caught fucking smoking a doobie, or Randall Flagg will fucking kill you.
You had to expect them to go in this way with Mama Abigail being as pious. I mean, that was way more pious than I remember it being. The Colorado being way more pious. Like it's more of a, I don't know. It's more extreme for good versus evil than it was in the book, obviously.
Yeah,
I think they're limited to the number of episodes too.
Right. I think they've accelerated it, and I think they had to jazz it up a little bit because it's very clearly he's getting his power from the sins and the corruption of the souls in the city, right?
Really? It's clear? Like, how do we know that?
Yeah.
What's clear
you see
about
him,
that?
As they're screaming his name, he starts levitating, right? And he gets stabbed in the neck. And
yeah, but he's like a demonic presence anyway. He like shows up wherever he's needed. He can visit people in their dreams. Like none of that,
though.
I'm sorry, but this one was just like, sorry. Go ahead, Paul.
Well, I was just going to expand on Ken's point. If there's not that many people left in the world, he probably has to kind of ramp up the sin if that's what he's juiced on. So that's my plugging the plot hole as far as Vegas being whatever goes town, because that's what gives him his power, or at least helps fuel it.
I mean,
that's the way I looked at it, and that the people that they're capturing are the people that they're putting to work, keeping the dam running. You know.
Well, so that part I wasn't sure about because when she was the intake lady was like, "Hey, we can't make him a slave because he came here voluntarily." So is it only the people that were in Vegas at the time that were forced into slavery? I don't know how that was.
That's what I'm thinking. The people that were there, or the people that didn't see him in his dreams, weren't called to Vegas, are the ones that are being enslaved.
Yeah, but either way, it's like, does he really need to enslave all these people? He's supposed to be like a figure that like is charismatic, and people want to be around Randall Flagg, you know? But I'm just seeing this episode reminded me of like a cookie cutter, like Mad Max ripoff. That's what Vegas reminded me of, was like a bunch of fucking hooligans running around. You've got the one like Immortan Joe type character who would be Randall Flagg, who's just got them essentially like terrified of him. And I don't know. That's a big deviation for me from the source material, along with the fact that my other problem with this episode is like we've only got 3 left, and the only like fully fleshed out character, in my opinion, so far is Harold. And I love Harold in the show, but he's like, we're spending so much time on Harold. I mean, the show has been very Harold centric.
I didn't realize there was only 3 left.
I thought there was 5 more, but no, there's only 3
for the whole thing.
3. Yep.
Wow. Yeah. I don't know what the heck they're going to do then. That's a lot of ground to cover.
Yeah. Cause that's for,
I mean, let me confirm it. You guys talk amongst yourselves or call me.
I see what your point with Vegas is. I really do, but I still like the episode, and I liked the other camp, what they showed with Harold and, the spy cameras everywhere.
I wonder if there's a backstory to that teddy bear, but I wanted to ask how you felt about Mother Abigail taking a little sabbatical.
Well, that made sense because that happens in the book too. Although I'm starting to not really understand her character much either, because the whole point in like the original was that she was like a 106-year-old woman who lived by herself, was fully independent, able to do all this stuff. And she was like an inspiring character. And in this, we've gotten like a few of those dream sequences where she visits, basically tells people to come there. We don't really know much about why Nick Andros was chosen to be like her voice outside of the fact that he's mute. So there's like a metaphorical thing, but like we're not getting much about her, in my opinion. I don't know much about her. I don't know much about Flag still. And maybe that's purposeful. I just,
how many is there left? Did you find it? Because
I'm looking right now.
That might change our minds in the end.
I understand Nick's character because that's a typical Stephen King foible. His hero, the ultimate heroes in his stories, always have to have there's 4 episodes left.
Yeah, I was wrong. There's 4.
They always have to have some major flaw to them, whether it be mental, physical, or emotional. His heroes always have to have some big obstacle to overcome. And I see him being deaf and mute.
Yeah, but we don't know much about like where he came from or what would have made him the person to be chosen to be like the right-hand man of, aside from the fact that we're just told that he is, right?
No, I think you're not. The scene where he turns around and, stays with the guy that popped his eyeball out of the socket when he could have just flat out walked away. Now, he didn't let him go because obviously he felt he was being he was getting what he deserved, but he sat there and gave him some comfort towards the end. I think that shows where he's got the capacity to be this caring person despite what the world has done to him.
Yeah, but all the good guy characters have shown some sort of moment.
But he's mute and deaf, and I'm guessing from what they've alluded to, an undocumented person in the country. I don't know. I just feel like that's what they're pointing to with that whole episode with him. Why because the rest of them don't have that tragic of a backstory, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean,
you know what I'm saying?
I think we're really stretching and giving the show excuses here.
Probably.
Okay, so here's let me compare this. So I'm gonna pull It from Stephen King out for an example here. The 2 movies, It and It Chapter 2. Now, the second one especially is not perfect. It's actually kind of bad. But that was about 4.5 to 5 hours, right? That book is like 1,100 pages long. It is a much, much better representation of Stephen King's book than this garbage is at what? We're going to get 9 episodes? Like, they could have done The Stand in 9 episodes. In 9 hours. But the problem is they fucked it up because there's a very clear method to The Stand. Book 1 is okay, we've got the plague, the journey to Boulder. Book 2 is Boulder, and book 3 is The Stand, right? And instead they did this mishmash bullshit garbage. And I'm like, I'm losing it with the show. Four actually had me kind of excited. I was intrigued.
Yeah.
Now five, I thought that this one was just like, this was like the tipping point where this was so cheap and it was just the lowest common denominator storytelling with, oh, here, let's just put a bunch of flashy shit and punk people in mohawks. I mean, everyone who's in Vegas is a fucking, where'd they all go to shop? Did they all go to like a lingerie lace leather store? Like, what is going on? Yeah, it's not like that. I mean, you'd have professionals, you'd have people in suits who are assholes. You know, you'd have like Donald Trump would be there, you know, with everybody. You know,
all those people died.
I mean, not that Donald Trump's hair is probably worse than some of the hair.
It probably mutated into its own life forms.
But do you get why? Okay, like obviously it's fine. Everybody can like the show if they want. But do you understand what I'm saying? Like that this just was fucking.
If I say no, can I get you even more work done?
Oh Jesus! It bothers me because here I am. I'm like, oh my god! Like the old Stan miniseries. It's so cheesy at this point. It's like unwatchable almost. We're gonna get a new one. It's gonna be awesome. And then.
But
I
warned you guys when I saw Owen was part of this that it was going to be a watered down, you know, version of an actual Stephen King story.
Is he a hack? I mean, let's be honest. He
really is? I enjoyed Nosferatu. He wrote that under a pen name, and they made the 2-season series with Spock from the new Star Trek movies and that was okay. The first season was okay. I haven't seen the second season yet, but you know, like I said, he's trying to be his dad, and it's just
he's not.
He's not. I read the book that they wrote together called Sleeping Beauties here a couple years ago. Terrible book. Oh my god, it's just awful. It's the most boring, meandering piece of crap I've ever read.
I thought the actress who played Dana was good in this episode.
Yeah.
Dana. With a Y. I actually think that the girl who plays like the crazy bitch who like, you know, I think she's pretty good.
Yeah.
I wish Lloyd was a real character. I don't feel like he's gotten his due as far as the importance of his character. Yeah, not yet. And that's the thing. When do we think it's going to happen? Like,
I don't know. See, the book is fresher in your brain than it is mine. I read that thing like 20, 25 years ago at that point, high school. So, I'd forgotten the thing about the no drugs and stuff, to be honest.
Yeah, me too. When you mentioned it.
I totally over my head.
Okay, so I could be wrong. Maybe that's not the case. But yeah, and by the way, Mike did join us, so he just finished 4, so he's going to be walking right into this. And I wish you had watched 5. Mike, maybe you'll watch it by next week. You can just hop on with us. By the way,
you think Dana swings a mighty pipe in that episode? Wait till you see what she does in 5.
Yeah, she was pretty good. And spoilers, Mike, you probably don't care now because you probably realize the show sucks.
Yeah, but, Mike, if you're still here, sorry to cut you off, Jackson. Let us know what you think. Give us a little.
Yeah, tell him he's wrong.
Or hop in. I've got the link, Mike. I'll send you the link. But yeah, no. Spoiler here, although I think it's quite obvious that she's not going to make it. But that was another thing. Man, I was excited for her death because this is so annoying that I keep doing this. I'm sorry to be that guy. I remembered her being like, she tried to jump out a window in the book and she didn't quite make it. And like the way she had her throat slit was like him or someone, or maybe it was just her falling on the broken glass of the window and it like slit the shit out of her throat. Still pretty sweet in the show what they did.
Yeah. I love how they did that in the show.
Yeah, I liked it too. I dug that it surprised Randall Flagg. He's like, I got you in a corner now. And you could just see him like
that was,
I guess,
caught me off guard too when she broke the bottle. I'm like, oh come on, you've already tried that. And then when she does that, I'm like, oh, I didn't see that.
She did look good in that 3-way scene. I'll tell you, she's a good looking lady. But anyway, I suppose very rude of me. I should have kind of set up where we were at before this episode and what happens here. So essentially we had our 3 spies sent. There's the older woman, I can't remember her name, and then you have Dana and Tom Cullen, and they're all sent to Vegas as spies. They all arrive at different times. We follow 2 of them. Tom Cullen, not so much. This is more of a Dana-centric episode. And essentially her thing is trying to get as much information as she can, while also trying to basically warn Tom that, like, okay, they clearly know something's up here, right?
Does she not know he's illiterate and gives him that note?
Well, that's what I wondered too. I'm like, how the hell is he going to read that, you tool?
You know what the other weird thing is? Like, she was far enough away from the other people when she went to hand him that note. Like, why didn't she just say something to him? Yeah. Although maybe he would have reacted. I mean, I don't know, but yeah, I know that's a good point, Paul.
She could have just said, "Hey, it's time to go home. You need to head home as soon as you can. You won't see me again," or something.
Did he recognize her at all, or no?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. I don't think so.
Maybe the community Boulder was a little too big, and they just didn't. Maybe they picked people in the community who didn't really know each other.
They did on purpose, right? And she had just seen him before at some point. Apparently, so that was kind of why she recognized him. But yeah, there was that. Also, like, what information, even if she got away, what information would she have been able to take back? Oh, it's a party city and they have slaves. That's it, right? Like, what did she get out of it?
Nothing. And that's what I didn't get either, because you're right. In what I do remember in the book, he was way more organized. And it was more he had almost a full military, didn't he?
I believe,
a lot of old
and here we go. So Mike, I still don't feel any connection to any of these characters at all. The time jumping back and forth is annoying, and it makes all the actions in the past not mean anything. Yeah, that's the problem. That's the problem. Although Mike, if you didn't feel anything for Tom Cullen's little goodbye.
You need to see a doctor about that.
Yeah. Oh man. Whew. But anyway, no, I agree though. In general, you're 100% correct. It's a huge problem. I would love to see a fan edit someday and just see how it turns out. But
time jumping back and forth is a big problem in all TV shows. All of a sudden, like, everybody's doing it. Everything I watch jumps. The writers get stuck, so then all of a sudden they have to jump back and either reintroduce a dead character that everybody thought was dead and completely make up a scene, even though someone supposedly died of an overdose, and then the baby was dropped off at a firehouse. And
what about Nadine's attempt at breaking her oath, I guess?
And he is a heartless, soulless monster.
Wow, you got to get out of California, man.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's probably it. Well, soon the fault line will break, like Lex Luthor planned, and
it's going to be World War Z there pretty soon, anyway, from the news.
Yeah, but anyway, what were you saying, Paul?
How strong of a man is Larry, though? That's all I'm going to say.
Larry's a badass. Yeah. Oh yeah. Nadine. That's what we're talking about now. Nadine wants out of her pact with Randall Flagg, so she goes and tries to seduce Larry. Part of me understands this. Part of me thinks, like, okay, Nadine, well, I guess she has a real emotional connection with Larry. Would have been nice to kind of like make me feel that, but since you guys wasted all your fucking time on this show, I don't care.
With the autistic kid and the guitar and stuff.
Well, it's like I don't have any context as to their journey together.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't care. So she goes to try and seduce him. He basically sends her off. He sends her off and says no, which was impressive because I mean she is crazy in real life, Amber Heard, but I mean. It's got to be a lonely time for the people.
Johnny Depp, don't do that. Never say yes to crazy.
Yes, but So we get that Nadine scene. What else happens in this episode? What happens with
that's when
Harold goes to break into Harold's house
with the two, and he's creeping around the house, and he stops to look at the teddy bear. And then right at the end of the episode, it reveals that he put a camera in the teddy bear.
He knew that Larry had broken into his house while he was at dinner. So he has more motivation now to get back at Franny and Stu. How did Harold set up a wireless camera in another person's house and stream it to his home? Do they have internet?
They've not said they have internet, but they have power now. So he could have set up his own wireless area network. I mean, honestly, if he had a router and power.
He has to live next door then, right?
Not necessarily.
So how far would the range be on a camera in a teddy bear in another house? Like, I'm assuming it was at least a 5-minute walk for him to get home, right? I mean, maybe I'm nitpicking, but
I don't know as if all that equipment was in his house. That was in the basement of a house. That
was when he got home. No, because he got home and first thing he did was he noticed the chess piece thing, didn't he? Because they did the whole Misery scene where where James Caan knocks over the little bird thing, and then Kathy Bates notices it's in a different direction, and you're sitting here thinking oh, that's what's going to get him caught. And then you realize oh no, this creep wired up his entire house. And an internal local area network he could do, but I'm curious as to, and maybe someone can answer this because maybe it is possible.
He could set up several routers. I mean,
it's Bluetooth. I don't know.
Yeah, but Bluetooth, if I walk into the other room with Bluetooth, I lose it, So I don't know. I thought that was a little odd.
I guess the show sucks.
You're talking, magic to God, and a wolf shows up when she's praying to God, and you're more bugged by the Wi-Fi signal.
Hey, if you guys enjoy it, that's fine.
They could.
I just have a more refined palate,
Of course. Treatment.
Yeah, they could have plugged it by Harold somehow saying oh yeah, when he some random 2-second scene, maybe someday I'll be able to wire all the houses together so we can, I don't know, watch a movie or something. I don't know, something like he has some tech knowledge, just like a 5-second thing that he knows how to do this.
Okay. Yeah, that's true. One line of dialogue and it fixes it, right? They'll
probably do a flashback scene where he used to watch her unchange in his in his sister's room, watch all of her friends and panties and stuff. So,
I mean, he probably did do that. Harold seems like a pretty clever guy. Now, I do
pervert, clever, whatever.
I like to at least pretend that there's things that I like. So, what are some things that you really liked about this episode? That made it, one of the better ones. Because my thoughts are, from you guys, it seems like you really enjoyed this one. This was a good one, right?
I liked it. I know you hated it, but I thought it was decent.
It was fun to see the other side.
Yeah.
What Randall Flagg's up to, because he's the big bad. What's the bad guy up to? The death scene got me. I didn't see that coming at all. I figured she was going to drop the broken bottle and just give up.
Or he was going to snap her neck or something is what I thought, but
yeah, something like that.
Look at Mike's comment.
But
we got 2 from Mike. So actually, no, let's go in order here.
I just hate Harold though. You can just, I don't know. He's the most hateable character.
Yeah. I honestly think Harold's great. I really like the character. The character is fully fleshed out. I understand his motivations. He's a little creep who was picked on when he was a kid, and he's one of those awful characters that you kind of understand where they're coming from. So I'm very impressed with Harold. The rest, though, I'm not that impressed with. Randall Flagg could be awesome. I actually think they nailed it as far as who they picked to play him. I'm not feeling it, man. I'm just not feeling it.
I think the next episode really will suck you back in. I think that they had to do some fluffy stuff because, it's Vegas and everybody expects the boobies and the butts to be everywhere. And, there's that element of sin that has to be part of the Vegas dialogue right now. In my opinion, I think we haven't really seen what he's really up to yet.
yeah, I was just thinking that they haven't really established what's wrong with Randall Flagg. Like, why do you not want to? What's wrong? What's wrong with him wanting Nadine for himself? Everybody wants a girlfriend or a wife. You know what I mean? He hasn't taken a bunch of women in Vegas,
right?
I don't know.
What Mike just wrote, and we're on YouTube for those of you listening, if I ever get to upload this, but basically Mike from Downright Nerdy Podcast, he's in the chat, and he said, I think to make it more interesting, Whoopi is supposed to be God and the other guy Lucifer for all intents and purposes, have them be the puppeteers, the angels and demons influencing the survivors. So that is kind of what the stand is. Yeah. And the fact that like they're somehow making that idea lame is like perplexing and sad to me. Like I don't know. I mean, clearly Mike's on the money as far as what those characters are supposed to represent, right?
Right.
But you're right though. Neither one of them, as far as what you just said too, like Rand Flagg's motivation is not really clear.
No.
Aside from the fact that he's evil, which anyone can be evil, but they're not really doing a lot with his character outside of like, he's cool and he's mysterious, and she's just mumbling garbage gospel shit all the time.
Well, not until that scene with the wolf. That's when I felt that her character was coming to life a little more. And I was a little disappointed that they didn't go with that a little bit more. But I'm assuming in the next episode, that's when everybody finds out she's gone, or right at the end of this episode.
Yeah,
she's gone.
I thought. Oh, sorry, man.
Go ahead, dude. I talk over you all the time.
I was just gonna say. I think I thought the wolf scene was gonna be the end of the episode. That's it. They got me with that transition. Sorry, man.
Well, no, you're good. I think it's all about, he's obviously the Lucifer character, and she's Michael or Gabriel, whatever you want to call it, an archangel that's trying to guide people back towards God. But, it's all about a test because the council has gone against what she has said is God's will, right? By sending the 3 spies, right? And now she thinks she's lost the voice of God. So now she's questioning whether she really truly ever heard the voice of God. You know what I'm saying? I think it's a test both ways.
Yeah.
Honestly. And I don't know. I don't know. I just hope Tom is okay. That's all.
There's a lot more questioning in this show from her because we get a scene at the old folks home. I don't think it was this episode. But I don't know what episode it was in because nothing's in order.
No.
But she was in the old folks home with her dead friends. After COVID hit the old folks home, she was in the old folks home, and she's kind of saying to herself, like, "Well, I don't know if they'll come." Blah blah blah, and it's like, well, yeah,
I can't stay much longer. Don't got much more water.
But she kind of should know that they're going to come. I mean, she has to have faith, right?
Right.
I mean,
so
yeah, I think. Mike, I'm glad he's here because I have someone on my side here. And yes, Mike just mentioned that he did just finish 1984. And that is a great book. But anyway, so I like that he showed up and kind of put this in here. I wish he was in here because I guess he seems to be most upset about the fact that he can't feel any connection to any of these characters. And that is the antithesis of a Stephen King story. A Stephen King story, even when it's bad, every character is so well fleshed out and they're so well written and awesome, whether they're a piece of shit like Harold or, a multi-layered protagonist type like Stu is in the book. That to not get that, I mean, Stu to me is just a stock, like handsome everyman.
Yeah,
right. There's nothing
really flat this time. Gary Sinise did a better job.
Yes, I would agree. Gary Sinise was better, and I don't even want to blame what's his name, James Marsden. No, like, the character's just written really boring and lame, And I don't know. It's but yeah, it's not good, and you guys can like it, that's fine. And then, maybe you guys hate me after this because I was mean about The Stand.
No, you're good. No, we need the other reason, the other views.
Yes, that's true. But yeah, anything else? What are next episode? We are getting Trash Can Man rumoredly in the next episode. So yeah, Trash Can Man. What are you excited, Ken? Are you excited for Trash Can Man?
I love Trash Man. I love it.
I haven't watched any previews. Or I don't know. Are you reading articles, or where'd you hear that, Jackson?
I saw it on like a Reddit thread or something. Oh, okay. I saw because what's his name who played the Flash in the DC, the Justice League pile of shit. He's playing Trash Can Man. So, and I actually think he's a good actor. He's a good actor. If anybody's ever seen, we need to talk about Kevin. Put that on your list. Very disturbing movie. Ken, you'd like it. You'd be really shocked that I suggested it because it's so right up exactly what I always suggest with you for movies. Great. But yes, it's very good.
The list from the last two.
Yeah, this one wouldn't put. Oh, this one might put you on a list, but not the same list as The Treatment, which. Nice. Which, if anybody hasn't watched The Treatment, you have the stomach for it. It's really good.
It's just one of those movies you have to watch. I don't care.
You have to watch and close your eyes at parts.
Oh,
if you need to. But yes. Anyway, though, what are you hoping for, Paul? You're the most ignorant, quote unquote, among us as far as The Stand is concerned.
Only The Stand.
Oh, come on. Just because he lives in Ohio.
I love the self-deprecating humor too, Paul. Perfect.
I don't know, man. I'm not sure what they're going to do next because you're right. I mean, I don't know because they haven't. Maybe they'll flesh a little bit more out with Flag and Nadine, so you know why to not think that Vegas is the place to be versus Boulder.
I think it's going to have something to do with the Antichrist. She's got to be a virgin.
Yeah.
Find something out like that. So
right. Like he'll promise her a baby or family or something. Like she might. I wonder if he knows that she'll confess that she tried to break their promise.
Yeah, we don't really understand the rules as far as that's concerned, right? Like how does Flag, how can he enter people's dreams, but he doesn't know who the three spies are in Vegas? You know what I mean? Like it's very strange. Like some of the stuff is like, it's not really explained very well. And it might've been the same in the book. I would have to read it again to remember, but yeah, it's like, how would he not know that she's done that? He's been literally visiting her since she was like in a little,
right. He used to sit on the play set in the rain and watch her window. So.
And Mike's on fire. He's sitting at work in his car with nothing to do. Apparently a call hasn't come in.
He's probably eating fried chicken. He's always the wittiest when he's eating fried chicken. So
I think that it's a free will thing. And if he can just read everyone's mind, that kind of takes the fun out of it.
They have to pledge loyalty, then he has full access to their mind.
Yeah, but he's like visited everybody. He's like hopping into dreams left and right. Like they've all seen him, right? I mean, I just don't. I guess I don't get it. But yeah, okay. So Paul is hoping that they walk into a house in the morning, turn the corner, and see the French doors they just installed open to an eerie night. That's what Paul's hoping for the next episode after his bizarre pick on the show last weekend. And then we've got rules, Jackson. These are the same rules as Quidditch. It makes more sense than Quidditch. I'll give it that.
Shoot.
I'll give it that. But yeah, I mean, anything else at all? I know I'm kind of being the bummer on this episode.
I know. I'm really disappointed tonight.
Yeah.
I'm going to cry.
There's a new episode tomorrow. So what's funny? I do all this bitching and I'll watch the next one.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Say you watch the next Lions game.
Oh, that was good, Paul.
That was good. Right into the.
It's true. I should be used to being disappointed, over the years. You would think that it would just.
Any long-term Trek fan has been disappointed for years.
Multiple times, right?
Yeah, don't feel bad.
But yeah, I guess we can kind of wrap up the show. Expect to see us here by next week for episode 6 of The Stand, and then we'll be in the final third. So if everybody wants to say goodbye, we'll start with Paul this time. Where can people find you, Paul?
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram at Paul's Problems CBSI and see if I can make you laugh.
Perfect. And Ken?
Find me at Pinky's Out Podcast or on the YouTubes with you or Mike doing the movie stuff.
Perfect. And you can find me right here or wherever you listen to podcasts. And if you're enjoying The Stand, comment, tell us why, send an email, coupleofdudes@boredandanoid.com. Let me know why I'm wrong about this, or let me know why I'm right about this, whatever it is. Please reach out. And thank you, Mike, for joining in on the chat so we could get your opinion on this. Hopefully next week you can hop on and join us through the rest of this flawed journey. I think we would all agree.
Well, remember what our friend Matthew said, art is subjective. So
that's true. Yeah. Everything is good. Yeah. I hate that. I hate that. Everything can be good. If somebody walks in and says the room is good, it's a masterpiece.
Absolutely.
That's a valid opinion if they actually believe it. Yep. Yeah. There's no objective truth in life.
Nope.
Nothing is just true, So,
of course, I thought we were talking about enduring love. I don't know what art's got to do with that.
Okay. Well, we'll end it there. One more jab at enduring love. Good way to end the show. See you, everybody.